Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. As usual, we're going to be talking about the game review. Oh my God, there's not much we can say about this one. Another one-sided game to the largest extent, being Mumbai and CSK, of course. Mumbai absolutely dominant. CSK absolutely pathetic. There's just no way, no real words to describe what has gone on to someone who's been so consistent in the playoff spots always. Is most likely going to finish off last over here this season, and pretty much conceded defeat through and through. Now there's no, I mean, there is a mathematical chance, but it's almost impossible now. So for Chennai, just a matter of pride now. For Mumbai, I think it was just a matter of, oh, Bangalore, you can do so much, I'll do one better, and kind of just improve that run rate too. So they're not leaving that top two spot. So with that kind of performance that they had today, I think they kind of confirmed that second spot again over my Bangalore. So Bangalore will need to do better to be able to push on and try to see if they can make that second spot. So it's going to be interesting, but we'll see how it goes. What are your thoughts on this game, Musti?
I mean, yeah, I think it's an end of a dynasty, like end of an era. This Chennai Super King team have been so consistent for the last 12, 13 years since the IPL started. But I think finally, like their players who have passed their peak, they have one or two really bright players like Sam Curran. I think they need to build the team around him, not
Yeah.
necessarily make him captain or anything, but like he's a really good player, keep him, and then build that team, get some youngsters, get a good mix. Because even the young players who they've gotten this year, they haven't really performed, and so it's just not their older players, it's even the youngsters have not performed, so they'll need to rebuild, go back into the auction. Very disappointing performance, but I felt bad as well. Like Dhoni, I think he handled the press conference really well.
Yeah.
I expected this to happen like for CSK at the start of the season, and but I wasn't sure because last two seasons they proved me wrong. But I think he handled it well. I think they understand that this is the situation and they need to look to build, and he said that clearly, that yes, we need to look to the future. So yeah, I think disappointing performance. The batting order again failed miserably. That's been the problem for them the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Yes, Faf has performed in patches. He's been like probably their best batsman, but apart from him, nobody's been contributing. Their bowling today, they didn't have enough runs, but still, you could see the poor fielding, misfielding, going for fours and stuff like that. So yes, overall, it's been a poor tournament. And when it's not going good, it really doesn't go good. So that's the
Yeah.
case for CSK.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that they would have some kind of a restore some kind of pride in terms of how Punjab have turned things around for them after a really poor start, but not to be for CSK. It's just been like you said. I mean, everything's just going wrong. They've been doing some very basic errors in terms of fielding issues and poor poor decisions while batting, like rash shots to get out. Not really, like just the basics are not going right. They've been a better bowling unit than they've been a batting unit. I think the batting has really struggled this season. At least in the bowling in front, you've seen the likes of Deepak Chahar, initially at least, and then Josh Hazelwood looked good. Shardul Thakur in a few games has looked good. So they've been okay in the bowling attack. By no means significantly good, but just at least decent. But their batting has really let them down, and their fielding, I think, this season for them. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those games. I mean, like uh, not much to say about them. They just need to like go out in the auction this time, get a few good youngsters, and try to like turn things around next season. But I think as of right now, it's pretty much done and dusted for them.
Yeah, I think after a heavy weekend of games going till the wire, this week has like matches have finished so early, man. Like we have like an hour to spare. We're setting up the podcast when it's supposed to be the 15th, 16th over
True.
going on. So like games are finishing thick and fast, and yeah, very one-sided game. And I agree with all your points. Like now it's time for Chennai to go back to the drawing board and look forward to the next auction.
Yep, absolutely. And then coming to Mumbai, I mean, this will get this performance. Yes, of course. I mean, it was a very dominant performance. It was just a matter of bringing their run rate up as fast as they could, and they finished the game in 12 overs with 10 wickets to spare. So that makes their run rate really hard up there. And very happy with this performance without their usual captain Rohit Sharma. And Karen Pollard has won 15 out of 15 games when he's captain this side. I mean, he's just something else, man. He's an enigma. He's like that mainstay of that Mumbai side that without him it just doesn't look a complete side at all.
Yeah.
So it's quite something. I mean, Mumbai will take a lot of confidence into this game, and they're ready to go into these playoffs like they're completely ready now. It's going to be fun to see them.
Yeah, I think he captained brilliantly today. Like when Dhoni came in, he got the spinner on Chahar. He knew that there is a slight issue there, and I think Dhoni got trapped in that. Like, he hit him for six, then got out. But it was some excellent captaincy. He anticipated well, like he read the batsman's mind, and he planned really well. And now in Rohit's absence, I think he stepped up to the plate, and they really didn't miss Rohit today.
Absolutely.
Brilliant captain, and that's the main thing about the beauty of this Mumbai side. Like, they have players who will step up at the right time. Today we saw Kishan with the bat, unbelievable batting, some brilliant display of shots.
Yeah.
De Kock again very consistent. So someone or the other is always stepping up. You see some new guy. Today was Kishan. Before it was Yadav. Someone else, someone or the other is always stepping up. And they're bowling right now. I think that new ball. I have this debate who has a better bowling side, right? Delhi and Mumbai. I think I've come to a conclusion where I feel that Delhi has the best death bowling, but new ball bowling Mumbai has the best.
Mumbai is
Like,
better.
but it's very close. The death bowling is also really good, but Bumrah is excellent at the death. But yes, that's what I just feel right now. The way Bolt with the new ball, unbelievable. He was swinging it like crazy. The way he got Faf to Plusi out. Excellent bowling, and this just pans out well, and it's brilliant for the net run rate. You can see they're all tied on top three on 14 points, I think.
Yeah. I think Delhi
And
has 16. Yeah.
there's yeah, but they'll be ahead despite and this the net run rate, it won't do any harm for them. It'll really help them going in.
You're right,
Sorry.
actually. Delhi has 14, and they're actually Mumbai with this net run rate have gone first into the position
Okay,
now.
yeah. So that proves. Yeah, that
So
was my point. That was the point
yeah,
I'm making. So like this win actually help them in terms of net run rate, and that's why they're first, right? Because of the big margin of victories.
yep, plus 0.14. Wow, plus
Yeah.
1.4. Sorry, I mean,
Yeah, so
and
it's not just
yeah,
the victory, and when they're losing in the second super over, so that also helps the net run rate. So
true, true.
their margin of victories has been very important, and they will want to, like we mentioned yesterday, they will want to qualify in the top two, and this
Yeah.
has done them no harm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think. I mean, yes, absolutely. They've just been completely dominant, taking their first spot as they rightly deserve. I think they've been one of the better teams, of course. Them and Delhi, and then now within striking distance, Bangalore as well. All at 14 points. All played 10 games with 4 games left. The only reason that Bangalore is third is because of the run rate, because Bangalore's had some couple of games where they've lost like by a slightly bigger margin, so it's not helping. But I think Mumbai is almost primed to finish first, I think. And then there's after the first three, there's a lot of issues because there's like 10, 8, 8, 8, 8, and 6. It's funny.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think that wraps up the game today. I think our player of the match, I think it's a pretty simple one. Again, I think we've been very lucky to not really have any competition in terms of. I mean, Ishan Kishan had a very good innings, but I think it was set up by
it
the
was
likes
set up.
of Trent Boult. I mean, he was just magnificent. And even after, like he picked up a few wickets in the beginning, and when Karan was going all guns blazing, he came in and gave him a perfect yorker. Like he just steamrolled him through the and wicket just completely went off the. I mean, just completely flew off. So that was nice to see as well. So hats off to this Mumbai team, and hats off to Trent Boult for that kind of setup. I think you'd agree, right?
Yeah, 100%. He set it up like
Yeah.
they're 5 for 4.
Yeah.
Like if any bowler like does that to team, he deserves the man of the match. Like 5 for 4, and then yeah, bowled brilliantly. And then the last ball to Sam Curran, who scored a 50. He bowled a Yorker on the last ball of the innings and got him bowled. So like yeah,
Yeah.
unbelievable bowling.
Yeah.
He's brilliant with the new and old ball. But just a word on Ishan Kishan. I just wanted to ask you. Now we've seen there's a lot of talent in terms of Indian wicket keepers. A
Yeah.
lot of flash in the pans, brilliant stuff, right?
Yeah.
Now all you need is consistency for all the wicket keepers. But who do you feel will secure that spot? Rishabh Pant, Samson, Ishan Kishan. Am I missing anybody else?
I think it's only KL Rahul. He's the only
And
one who's
KL
been
Rahul. I forgot
consistent.
about him. KL Rahul, yeah.
I think he still takes that step up in the front. I think that's exactly how it's going to be. I think KL and Rohit open up, and then they have the likes of
So
Virat
it's a
at
matter
three.
of consistency. Like
Absolutely. And KL has been phenomenal this season. He's 700 plus runs
but
with a few games
imagine if
left.
one of these guys can just like be consistent, they'll become match winners. So
Yeah.
and they can be in the side with Rahul. But
Yeah.
like just the hitting ability they have, they can turn games on their head. Like Ishan Kishan, that could have easily been a tricky chase if he got out or whatever, but he
Yeah.
finished it.
Yeah.
But when he stays in, it finishes in 2-3 seconds, and that's why their net run rate is high now because the way he played and the manner in which he was batting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just a matter of this guy Samson spunt all of them to just start being consistent, and they have a easy entry into this Indian team. I mean, nothing's easy to get into the Indian team. It's very challenging, very competitive. But I think the fact that they have the talent is just a matter of giving them 5 or 6 games where they give you some consistent scores. I think that's gonna go a long way in getting them into that Indian team for a longer period of time.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I think, yeah, I think that wraps up today's game. Tomorrow we have the double header. Is the weekend is back? The double headers are back. We start off with Delhi playing
KK.
KKR. Sorry, I forgot that one.
No, no.
But Delhi's playing KKR. So Delhi looking ominous form. KKR a lot of issues. It's again something like how Bangalore has really made them found wanting in the last game. KKR will want to come out of that kind of a demoralizing loss and just stamp their authority into like trying to get that fourth spot. They're still the favorites to make that fourth spot, but they need to get their act together really quickly. On Delhi, on the other hand, will want to, after seeing Bangalore and Bombay perform the way they did in the past 2 days, they want to go out there and show them who's boss pretty much with that extra 2 points. I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think KK need to be consistent, like you said, in team selection and in play as well. Like their openers and their foreigners need to really step up to the plate. I think Cummins needs to do better with the ball. They have some excellent players. Ferguson's unbelievable, but right now they're handing it back. They have it in a platter right now, and they keep handing that platter back to the likes of Punjab and Sunrisers. Like if they
Yeah,
won their last game, they would have easily, like, secured top. Not easily, but they would be front runners. And they're still front runners after that demolishing loss, like, demoralizing loss. They're still front runners, but yeah, they need to really pick it up because this Delhi side is a really strong side, and
yeah.
it won't be easy. And Delhi are pushing for the top two, so they're not gonna take it lightly. Yeah, so I feel it'll be a tough challenge for KKR, but they really need to step up. And I
And
think Nokia will be back.
yeah, and I think in terms of for Punjab and Hyderabad, who are trying to fight KKR in that last spot, it'd been better if Delhi wins. So
Yeah,
I
100%.
think in that on the basis of that, I think KKR really, like, they don't want anyone else to get that 10 points, because one of them is, because the next game is against these two. So
Yeah,
so I
that's
think
one
if
thing that they have in their favor. It's in their own hands, whereas
yeah,
Punjab and Hyderabad need to depend on other teams beating KKR. So I
yeah,
think they need to step up and realize, look, we're the front runners right now, and like they need their big guns to step up, the big guns to fire. I think
correct.
Morgan Russell, if he plays,
Yeah,
even Cummins with the ball needs to be more productive,
yeah.
because
Dinesh Karthik, the openings.
yeah,
Yeah,
because this bowling lineup can be lethal, man. Imagine Cummins and Ferguson opening the bowling.
yeah.
It can be a lethal attack.
Absolutely, I think 100%. I think it's just a matter of trying to get like their best 11 on the field, and having them, like, just giving them a go and having them like, okay, these are my best 11. This is what I want from you guys. Go ahead and get it out. I don't think
Absolutely.
Tom Banton, he's your opening batsman. You have to open with him if you're going to play him. Rahul Tripathi has been batting in the opening slot. Yes, it's just way too many things. They're just trying too hard. I just think that they need to just go chill out.
Yeah.
These are your four foreign players. Your seven players. You just set it up according to their strengths, and then just go out there and play.
I would just do what Punjab is doing with Maxwell. I just play Russell like every game, despite,
Yeah,
because if he's not in form, we know that
yeah,
he's not performing. But just play him, because if he clicks at this stage, he'll win you the game.
yeah.
So just keep him, and it's not like his replacement is doing amazing, right? Like, and
Correct.
Banton is an opener. Then it rejuggles the whole batting order, and
Yeah.
it becomes confusing. So I just feel they just stick with Russell to the end of the tournament. If he clicks, they're gonna go to the playoffs. If it doesn't click, they're not gonna make the playoffs. But at least it's more simple.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair point. I think that I mean, you just have to go with Russell. He's a match winner on his day. I mean, it's just not his day has not come, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, moving your players to watch out for.
For Delhi Capitals, I want to see Rishabh Pant. I think it's been a while since we've seen a cracking innings. He was injured for a bit as well,
Yeah,
so I want to see if he can get back into form. And for KKR, I want to see Ferguson again. I think he's been in super form, and I think he needs to be utilized better. He wasn't given the new ball when they were defending such a low score. But even if he doesn't get the new ball, I just want to see how he performs.
I think so. I think those are fair points. I think for me, I always go with the spin guys. I love to see a good
Ashwin,
spinning cup. Yeah, Ashwin and Kuldeep.
you've taken Ashwin's name in every Delhi game.
I really like him, man. He's just I really like him as a player. He's really good. I think I always feel bad for him. I think he's an absolutely incredible player. He's a very smart cricketer. I usually like players who can really think on their feet, and I think he does that. So I think for me, Ashwin and Kuldeep, I think if they can really see how they perform,
Mhm.
I think that wraps up that game. But moving on to the decider, before the deciders start, there's another decider: Punjab versus Hyderabad. Oh, sorry. Who do you pick to win the game? Between Delhi and KKR.
I'd go with Delhi, I think.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with Delhi too
Because
because
they lost the
that's
last game, so
Hyderabad.
they'll want to come back strong and make that top two. So yeah.
And I think I want them to. Also, it helps
And we
Hyderabad.
want
So,
them to win. Yeah.
but yeah, moving on to Punjab versus Hyderabad. Both teams coming into some. I mean, Hyderabad coming in from after some confidence after that last game. Punjab now suddenly has changed things around and they won three in a row and they've beaten the likes of Mumbai, Delhi, and Bangalore. I mean, that's been three of the top sides in the season. So they'll be coming in with a lot of confidence and looking to go all guns blazing. Suddenly, this team looks like a team that can't be beaten right now. Everyone's starting to click. The likes of Puran, the likes of Gale are really picking up, and then they have the bowling attack who's doing pretty well as well. Arshdeep comes out, picks up wickets for you. Mohammad Shami is in full flow. Murugan Ashwin and Bishnoi are doing decent as spinners. So I mean, Punjab's looking pretty solid suddenly, and Maxwell getting some runs will really help them again in the last season. He'll come into with some confidence as well. So this Punjab team looking good, but they're coming up against a Hyderabad team that won it without their star players last game. The likes of Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar really stepped it up and quashed any kind of doubts anyone had about the middle order, because this middle order now looks worthy. And if the likes of Warner and Besto don't perform, there's still hope with the likes of Shankar and Manish Pandey and Garg, who's also done in a game or two in the past. Jason Holder is a decent batsman. We've seen a couple of shots from Abdul Samad, so that's suddenly starting to look a little bit decent. Sandeep Sharma and Vijay Shankar are bowling well. Rashid is obviously very good. Natarajan needs to improve a little bit, but he's there and thereabout. So I mean, it's looking set up for a very entertaining clash.
Yeah, I think you got it spot on. That middle order, if they didn't click in the last game, I think you'd give Punjab like they would be out and out favorites. But now
Yeah,
Sunrisers have some hope in this game because of the middle order. But
yeah,
still, if you see that Punjab batting lineup, there's more batsmen in form from Rahul Agarwal, Gale down to Puran, Maxwell getting a bit of form like you mentioned. So they
yeah,
have more batsmen in form. For Sunrisers, I feel that the top two really need to click. If you wanna beat this kind of Punjab team, you saw in the last game against Punjab who hit Bairstow and Warner.
yeah,
They hit 200 runs and that's it. Like it was a 150-run partnership, like in 15
yeah,
overs. They
yeah,
won in the game. So I think to beat a team like Punjab, you need your big players to step up. Rashid stepped up in that game as well against Punjab. So
yeah,
I think it'll be very important. For sure, now Hyderabad will have that confidence that even if Warner and Bairstow get out, they have a middle order who won them the game.
yeah.
But at the same time, they'll need their top order to fire, I think, tomorrow. Otherwise, this Punjab team will be difficult to beat if they click.
Absolutely, I think 100%. It's going to be. I'm just looking forward to the game because it's going to be a very entertaining game, and the winner of this game kind of gets the. If KKR loses, let's say, right, and then they go into this game, and the winner of this game kind of is a front runner to pick that fourth spot, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And but the only thing is, I think Punjab has a better fixture list coming up compared to
yeah,
Hyderabad.
yeah,
Hyderabad have to
absolutely.
play Delhi, Bombay,
Bombay and
and
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
That is so true. That is so
So
true.
I think like if that does happen, Punjab probably have a better chance
Yeah,
if they win. But yeah, like you never know, man. Punjab's beaten Delhi and thing as well, so you never
yeah.
know. But yeah, it's going to be a tough run for Hyderabad.
Yeah, I think that they're definitely tougher run. I think of the three guys who are trying to take the top four, I think that Hyderabad has the least chance because of the fixture list as well. But they're coming into confidence, and when Hyderabad comes in some confidence, I think they usually set it up well for the final stages. So
Yeah.
this is going to be an entertaining clash. But place to watch out.
Players to watch out for Punjab Kings 11 are Chris Gale.
Damn it! I want to go with him as well.
Chris Gale, because I remember last year or 2 years ago he smashed like Hyderabad at that time,
Yeah, yeah.
and I think he played Gale Rashid well as well. But I think Rashid will be up for the contest, so it'll be
Mm-hmm.
interesting. But yeah, I think Chris Gale will be the player to watch. He's been in good form, like he's
Yeah,
smashing
yeah,
it to all parts. He
yeah,
can change the game on his head. And Nicholas Puran, of course,
yeah,
100% because he played well against Hyderabad as well
yeah,
in their last game.
yeah.
So these two players, but yeah. And for
And for
Hyderabad,
Hyderabad,
uh, for me, it has to be Johnny Bairstow. I think if he
yeah,
can get because when he gets going, he strikes at a good rate. Warner has been consistent, but he's not been clicking right.
yeah,
So I think Bairstow, if he gets going, he can really up the run rate and win the game for Hyderabad. So it has to be Johnny Bairstow for me.
yeah. For me, Maxi and Nattu. Just want to see how Maxwell can come. If he can, I mean, because I'm expecting 4 wickets to go early tomorrow. So it's going to be a matter of Maxwell trying to get them out of
You're
the game.
expecting them to blow with the top
I'm
order, huh?
I'm gonna I'm gonna go with 100 for 4 in 13 overs.
Who's gonna get Rahul and Agarwal out?
So I think Rahul is gonna hit a six to Sandeep Sharma and get out the next ball because he won't pick up the speed. I'm gonna go Mayank Agarwal for another little bit of a run out because he's been doing that often. And I'm going Chris Gale first ball to Vijay Shankar.
Wow. If you get that right, ice cream's on me. But
I'm gonna take more than ice cream from you, bro. But no, I was just messing. But I want to see Maxwell how he plays, and I want to see Natarajan coming back. I think after a couple of poor games lately, but he's gone for more than 40 in his 4 overs. He's a smart bowler. I think he'll learn from it, and I think he'll come out all guns blazing tomorrow. And I'm gonna wait for that. So
yeah,
I think that's it. And there's no surprise there. I'm gonna pick Hyderabad to win this one tomorrow. And
you're
you?
gonna go with Hyderabad. I'm going. My heart is Hyderabad, man.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gonna have to
like
be.
my mind says Punjab, but like I have to like
No, no,
support the team.
no,
You can't.
no. Shut up. No.
You can't say. I mean, I can't say that right now, but yeah, like because this Punjab team, to be honest, they're looking dangerous now. They won the last 3 games,
Yeah.
so I don't think it's the best time to play them. But Sunrisers picked up some good form as well. So to be very honest with you, I think it'll go to the last over. Whoever wins, I think it'll go to the last over. These two teams have a habit of taking the game close. Um,
True.
uh, I think Hyderabad were clinical for the first time in the last game, but I think both teams they'll take it to either a super over or at least a last over finish for sure.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man, can't
Yep.
wait.
Looking forward to the games tomorrow,
Yeah,
and we'll catch
catch
you
you.
after.
Yeah, for sure. Take care, man. Enjoy the
Take care.
games.
Thanks. You too.
Thank you.